Maranatha, my PBC family and friends. I apologize about the color in here. It's just I don't have a light on and it's a little bit kind of shadowy and stuff like that. So I apologize about that this morning, guys. But I just wanted to share this another quick bite this week and just something to kind of chew on a little bit. As we've been dealing with extreme temperatures, at least for our area, what we consider extreme. I know some of you in other areas of the world and or nation may say, oh, that's nothing compared to what we're going through with our 110s and 112s or whatever the case may be. But for us in our area, you know, running into the 90s, the high 90s and into the hundreds, it gets a little bit daunting after a while. But what that got me thinking about a little bit was I thought about that story of the rich man and Lazarus, which hopefully you guys are pretty familiar with, and so I'm not going to take you through the whole story. You'll just remember there was that rich man who had everything in life that you could ever want, and Lazarus, the beggar, who would have even taken the crumbs from his table if he would have allowed him to do so. And then what ends up happening is that they both die. And then as they're dead, they're in Abraham's bosom, and anyway, long story short, let me just read to you a little bit what happens here in the transaction. Says this, and the rich man, and this is the rich man, says this, and in hell he lifted up his eyes, being in torments, and seeing Abraham afar off, and Lazarus in his bosom. And he cried and said, Father Abraham, have mercy on me, and send Lazarus, that he may dip the tip of his finger in water, and cool my tongue, for I am tormented in this flame. But Abraham said, Son, remember that thou in thy lifetime receivest thy good things, and likewise Lazarus evil things. But now he is comforted, and thou art tormented. And beside all this, between us and you, there's a great gulf fixed, so that they which would pass from hence to you cannot, neither can they pass to us that would come from thence. And he said, Well, I pray thee therefore, Father, if thou wouldest send him to my father's house, for I have 5 brethren, that they may testify in him, lest also they come into this place of torment. Now I'm going to stop here for a second. What I want to think about or talk about a little bit today is this. Think about that idea here. This man's there in this torment, this place of flames, this place of heat and hot, so much so that he's like, if you could just send Lazarus to dip his finger into the water and come and touch my tongue, that would satisfy me. I would feel relief. Now imagine being that hot, that miserable and thirst and things of that nature, that just the thought of it being able to have your tongue touched with somebody's finger that had been dipped in water would bring relief. Do an experiment for yourself. Stick your finger in your coffee if you're sitting right here having coffee right now. Stick your finger in your drink, something like that. Pull it out. Let it drip. See what comes out of there. And think to yourself, if that's all if you were so thirsty, so ravished with what you were dealing with, that even the thought of just that one little drop would seem refreshing to you, how miserable that would be. But why do I bring that up to us this morning? Well, because those stories and things like that, and even the heat outside, should remind us that there's coming a day when there will be many, many more, aside from this rich man in this story, that desire to have just that drop of water from a finger that they'll never be able to receive. We are that well of water. That Jesus Christ, with the Spirit of God welling up in us, we are a well of water, and we should be out there now pouring it out, a living water to people, so that they don't have to ever experience that torment of just wanting a dipped finger and a drop of water. That they may have that living water that never runs out and always refreshes with them. That's what we're called to be. Let's go out and be that water to the world. That living water, expressing the Spirit of God, living by Him, expressing the gospel of Jesus Christ, and sharing the hope with them. So this great day, as always, remember, I love you, we love you, God loves you, and God's got this.